Hello, welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. Apparently today the live session is not yet on the page. Is it on yet?
It's on already.
Okay.
It's on already.
Thank you. Okay. Fine. Let's start with our first participant, which are Anura and Ramya from New Zealand.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening, Ajahn.
Bit late for you, early morning for you, or the
Yes,
night.
yes. Yeah, because it's a full moon day today. It's a Asala Puja, so it's like daytime now.
Very bright, yeah.
Very bright. Yeah. So how are you, Ajahn?
Fine, thank you.
So I don't have any questions, Ajahn, but today is Asala Puja day. So is there any special um, uh,
Activity
activity at Wat Yan or
the usual stuff like giving food to monks in the morning,
yeah,
and people in the evening they go to temples to do the candle procession. And then some temples will also have Dhamma talks and chanting
right.
throughout the night.
Yeah.
So this is just the normal activity on the special holiday like Maka Puja. In Thailand, we celebrate 3 special holiday. The Visakha Bhucha Day, which is the day of the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing away. Then we also celebrate the day when the Buddha gave his first Dhamma talk. And then Maka Bhucha is the third one. These are the 3 important Buddhist days. They refer to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Like Maka Bhucha is the Sangha day, in which there are 1,250 monks gathered to pay respect to the Buddha. So we call this the Sangha day. Visakha Bhucha is the Buddha's day. We're commemorating the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha. And the third one we call Asalaha Bhucha. This is the day we commemorate the Dhamma, the teaching, the first teaching. And the Buddha gave the first teaching to the world. I think other Buddhist countries only celebrate the Visakha Bhucha day, I think.
Yeah. Like in Sri Lanka, they don't really celebrate the Magha Puja. Yeah. So is the Magha Puja is the day when the Buddha established the Vinaya, right? Over the Patimokkha, is it?
Oh no, he's just giving a talk called Patimokkha.
Yeah.
But in essence, it's the teaching that all Buddhas give when they became enlightened. After they became enlightened, they'll give the same instruction or teaching, which are the three practices of avoiding bad karma, doing good karma, and purify the mind. This is the process that will lead the mind to liberation from suffering, from the endless rounds of rebirth. But since it was the monk who gathered around him, so he also talked about the precepts of the monk, how monks should behave. They should remain perfect in body, speech, action, and mind. That's more or less But the essential teaching is the three practices of abstaining from doing bad karma, do only good karma, and purify the mind.
It's applicable to lay people as well, right? Is it
To everybody who
everyone?
wants to become enlightened, who wants to be liberated from suffering. Okay.
Okay.
So usually in the morning, there'll be plenty of people giving food tomorrow morning to monks.
Wow.
And throughout the day, people who didn't get up in the morning to give food, they might go to the temple near their house and do some dana, do some donation, pay respect to the Buddha statue, so forth, throughout the day. And in the evening, each temple will have this procession of the candles around the stupa or around the uposatha to pay respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And after that, some temple will then also will have monks give talks and do chanting throughout the night. Like Wat Yannasangwararam, they'll be doing after the candle procession, then there will be chanting in the chanting hall and alternating with Dhamma talk until early in the morning. It's a day that people want to show that they're giving special effort to follow the teaching of the Buddha.
Makes sense.
Observing the one of the Dhutanga, which is abstaining from sleeping for one night.
Oh, so is it one of the Dhutangas?
Yeah, Nisachika.
First month?
Nisachika. To only hold three posture, standing, sitting, and walking, and not lying down. So that you will have more time for practice. If you lay down, you go to sleep and you lose maybe 4 or 5 hours. So if you don't want to lose your precious time for practice, then you maintain this Dhutanga practice, but not for all the time, but maybe during some special occasion or some time when you feel you want to put in the effort, more effort in, and you can observe this Dhutanga practice. Maybe for 1 day, 2 days, or 1 week, or something like that. But you cannot do this all the time. You have to sleep. I mean, you can, when you observe this Dhutanga practice, you can sleep, but not in a lying down position. That's all. You might have to sleep in a sitting position when you feel sleepy.
Is it only practiced by the forest monks, or
It's not mandatory. It's up to any individual who wants to put in more effort for the practice. So for most temple and most meditation temples, they will observe this practice on special holiday like Maka Puja, Visakha Puja, and Asala Puja Day. But for some forest monk, they might do this, but they don't do it by announcing these practices. They do it on their own quietly. Usually when they are wandering alone in the forest, when they want to put in more effort for the practice, then they observe this. Some other monks might use other methods like fasting to stimulate more action, more practice. Because if you eat a lot, you feel lazy, you feel sleepy. And if you maintain the 3 postures, then you cannot lay down, then you cannot go to sleep. So you have to do more practice. Okay,
Yeah,
anything
thank you,
else?
Ajahn. It's very interesting. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, next, Justine from California.
Good evening, Ajahn Suchart. So I have a few questions on meditation and vipassana. So I've been trying to practice mantra meditation in the past few days with Buddha, and I find it very helpful in calming the mind down. The thing is, when the mind becomes close to stillness, it tends to recite the mantra pretty slow.
Doesn't matter.
I
Doesn't matter.
don't want to recite the mantra anymore.
If you don't
Do
feel
I?
like reciting, you can stop. If you can just watch your mind and see that it's thinking, make sure it doesn't think.
Just
It
watch
just
mind.
remain merely knowing.
Oh, so the object of meditation, is the mantra previously, but then if I stop, I should just focus on the knowing itself.
Yes, but ideally you should continue with the mantra
Yes.
until your mind drop into calm. When it converges into one, and then it will automatically stop that way. But when it hasn't yet converged or become perfectly still, and you can still recite the mantra, then you should continue reciting the mantra. You can vary the speed. Maybe you don't have to recite as fast as when you started.
Okay. So I should not switch to breathing or anything, right?
Well, breathing is also a good meditation object. If you think you can stop reciting and watch the breath, that's okay also.
Okay. Okay. And also another technical issue is that sometimes when I focus on the mantra and I don't pay any attention to the breathing, sometimes I feel this shortness of breath, so that I have to take a deep breath during the meditation. I don't think it's helpful, but how do I, avoid that?
Just ignore the feeling. Just continue reciting and watching the breath. Or just ignore the breath completely and just focus on the mantra only.
Okay.
I think you should just choose one or the other. Don't use both. It can be a problem because the speed of the mantra and the breathing might not synchronize.
Yes. So should I synchronize the,
No, you shouldn't. You just choose one.
Right. Okay.
Use the mantra or use the breath, whichever one you feel comfortable with.
Okay, because previously I used to, follow the breathing, but recently when I switched mantra, I feel it's pretty helpful in calming the mind down.
Yes, I think you should just use one or the other.
Okay. My last question is about vipassana. So for a sotapanna, to be a sotapanna, so aside from investigating, the body, feeling, mind, and the Dhamma, what else should we turn the mind to investigate?
Well, for sotapanna, you just investigate the nature of the body and feelings. See that they are impermanent, and there's no self in these things, in the body or in the feelings, and you cannot control them. They are like natural phenomena that the way if you try to control them or make them to be according to your wishes, you can be disappointed and you can suffer from that. If you don't want to suffer, then you just have to let the body be, let the feelings be, by just merely accepting them or acknowledging them when they appear. Like when the body gets sick, just acknowledging that. If the body should gonna die, just accept that. Yeah. If you have painful feeling, just accept it. Don't try to do anything to it. Don't try to change it because you could not change it when they appear.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so aside from that, so and they say, Sotomayor have three criteria. So the relinquishment of self-will, also doubt, and also clinging to unnecessary rites and rituals.
The other
So,
two will come after you have achieved the first one. They come in groups. All you need to do is see the body and feeling as having no self, as they are natural phenomena that you cannot control. So you just have to let go, let them, leave them alone. Once you can do this, you'll see the Four Noble Truths in yourself. You see that your suffering arises from your desire to control the body and the feeling. Once you see that the feeling and body are natural phenomena, and you let go of your cravings or your desire to control them, then the suffering disappears. So you see the Four Noble Truths appearing in your mind. So you know then this Four Noble Truths came from the Buddha. The Buddha is the one who discovered it. So you know that you then have no doubt whether there was a Buddha or not, whether there was the Dhamma teaching or not. And you have no doubt that people who follow his teaching can become a noble disciple because you have become one yourself. So
yes.
you get rid of the doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha completely. And then the third one, you see that your suffering came from two sources, from your craving, your desire. And when you cannot achieve it, you get suffering. And the other one came from your bad karma action, like killing, stealing, breaking the precepts. So for one, he don't have any doubt about the law of karma. So he would accept, he will keep the precept, like the 5 precepts, permanently. And he will not do any rituals to get rid of his suffering because the suffering came from his own cravings. So he just have to deal with his craving, stop his craving. And there's no need to do any rituals to ward off any suffering.
Yes. So the last of the Four Noble Truths is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. So how do we, so do people actually see the path?
No, you do it. So you meditate to get to the samadhi, and then you investigate the nature of the body and feeling to get to wisdom. See?
Oh, so they realize the path to go from the first to the final step.
Yeah.
Realize the path.
Before that, you have to keep the precept first.
Yes.
8 precepts. Then practice meditation to get to equanimity. After you have equanimity, then you come out of meditation and then investigate the nature of the body and feeling. When that actually happens, you have to force yourself to be exposed to either painful feeling, like sitting for a long time, and then the painful feeling of the body appears, and then you want to deal with it with wisdom and samadhi, not by moving your body, because in real life, one day sooner or later you're gonna have to face pain from your sickness or something, and you, regardless of how you move your body, you won't be able to get rid of the pain. So you have to teach the mind to learn to accept the pain, so that the mind doesn't suffer from it.
Yes.
So you have to expose the mind to a painful feeling from the body, like sitting for hours without moving the body, and using wisdom to teach the mind to accept the painful feeling. And the other part is the death of the body. You have to expose the body to some risk, some danger that might threaten the life of the body, and see how your mind react to that situation. If you have wisdom and you know the body is gonna have to die sooner or later because it's anicca, it's impermanent, and it has no self. No one can control the body, can stop the body from dying. You cannot stop the body from dying. So you have to accept the body as a natural phenomena, like the wind, the rain, and the snow, and leave them alone. Once you have accepted this, you will no longer have any fear of death, any fear of pain. Yeah. So this is the ability of so he still have other cravings regarding the body of other people. He still have sexual desire for other people, which is the work for the next level of practice of a Sagidagami and Anagami. You have to then you have to develop wisdom by looking at the unpleasant parts of the body, asupa, in order to be able to stop your sexual desire or cravings. Once you can get rid of your sexual desire completely, then you have achieved the third level of enlightenment. If you partially eliminate or partially eliminate your sexual craving, you get to the second level, Sakidagami. If you completely eliminate your sexual desire, then you reach the third level of Anagami. Then from that point on, you will not return and reborn with a human body anymore. But you will still be reborn in the formless realm of existence, formless realm of existence, which is the realm of the Brahma, the spiritual being that is blessed with the ability to enter into Rupa Jhana and Arupa Jhana. And if you want to get rid of out of these two realms, you have to stop your attachment, your clinging to the Rupa Jhana and Arupa Jhana.
Yes.
For your source of happiness. And once you stop seeking happiness from jhana, then you enter into nibbana, because you have got rid of all your cravings for sensual pleasure, for pleasure from jhana. So there's nothing to pull you into the three realms of existence anymore. So you are there. In that state, the mind is called nibbana, the state of nibbana, where there are no cravings to be born in the three realms of existence. No craving for sensual pleasure, no craving for rupa jhana pleasure, no craving for arupa jhana pleasure.
It's interesting. Seems like only Arahant can get rid of restlessness. So this unwholesome quality is one of the last.
Yeah, because during the last stage of practice, the mind still has to figure out what's going on inside the mind. So what is wrong? What has to be done? What has to get rid of? See? So I do a lot of investigation. That's why I become restless. It's not restlessness like the one in the lower, the hindrance. The hindrance is the restlessness about sensual pleasure. But for the higher restlessness here, for an anagami, is the work of investigation to find out the truth about the nature of the mind. So it's different.
Yes.
But it can become restless even if you contemplate too much, too hard, too long, the mind can become restless and agitated. So you have to stop and then come back into samadhi to rest the mind. After the mind has rested, then you come out and do more investigation, do more searching for the remaining defilements that you haven't yet discovered what they are, where they are. Eventually you'll find out. which is we call avijja, ignorant of the true nature of the mind. That the mind is still the nature of the mind, or the nature of things, the objects in the mind are still changing all the time. And the mind, and when you practice, you thought that you should be able to control everything. You should be able to control the mind to make it calm and peaceful all the time. But eventually you realize that you cannot do that, because the mind is just like the body, the feelings. They also changes. They also change. The mind change. The states of mind keep changing. Sometimes you have a calm mind. Sometimes you have a restless mind. So you have to stop your desire to control the mind, to make it calm all the time, and instead just accept the changing nature of the mind, because it's still exposed to the body and the khandha. It's still being impacted by the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects that come into the mind. See, that cause the mind to change, the nature of the mind to change, the state of mind to change. Sometimes you have pleasant days, sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you have bad days because of the situation that you come across.
Yeah, and so one of the tools that you mentioned earlier is to let the mind to manifest its hindrances, is to use pain, and also to put it in danger to see how it reacts, right?
Mm.
Okay, and to calm the mind, is it necessary to? Is it enough to go to first jhana, or do you practice further?
You go to the fourth jhana automatically. You don't have to do the step of going through the jhana. All you do is just concentrate on your meditation object, and then it will go automatically.
Oh,
You just keep
okay.
focused on your meditation object. If you're watching your breath, just keep watching the breath, and don't ask yourself which level of jhana I'm in already. You have to stop all forms of thinking or investigation. Just be merely knowing, observing, watching. Or you can use the mantra, just stay with the mantra. And even if you know that the mind starts to become calmer and calmer, don't try to analyze the mind. Just keep focusing on your mantra or on your breath. Eventually you'll get to the fourth jhana, then the mind becomes still.
So even during the first jhana, the mind is not completely still, so it's not suitable for vipassana.
No. You want to develop fourth jhana to have the mind to become still, so that you can use the still of the mind to resist your defilement. See? If the mind becomes still, then the defilement cannot move the mind. It's like a rock. But if you haven't have jhana, your mind is still like a feather. You can easily move there. But once you have jhana, then the mind becomes like a rock. When you have equanimity, then your craving cannot push the mind toward anything. You know.
Yes.
Then you use this strong mind in couple with the wisdom that everything that the cravings want you to go after are all impermanent, and they can cause you suffering in the end, sooner or later. So then when you see with wisdom and you have the jhana to support your mind to resist the craving, then you can stop the craving easily.
Yes.
Like when you come face to face with death, for instance, and the craving will say you want to run away, you don't want to die. But wisdom says you cannot run away. Sooner or later you're gonna have to die. You might run away today, but tomorrow you're gonna end up dead one day. And by running away, you're causing yourself a lot of agitation and suffering. If you don't want to have any suffering, then just accept that and let it be. stop your craving for living, because the body cannot live forever. One day you will have to give it up anyway. So maybe this is the day to do it. If you have jhana, you have wisdom, then you can stop the craving and just accept that, let the body die. Like you have that stage of cancer, for instance, and there's no other way of treating it. You just, okay, let it be. But the mind will not be hurt because the mind is still and calm and peaceful, have contentment, have equanimity.
Thank you. Lastly, is it a good practice to make a determination or resolution prior to a sitting session?
Well, you have resolution means the intention to do something, right?
Yes.
Before you can do something, you already have an intention, right? If you want to have a cup of coffee, you already have an intention. I want a cup of coffee. That's resolution. Automatically, it's called resolution. Then you go get a cup of coffee. If you don't have any intention, then you don't go after a cup of coffee, right? So
right. Yeah.
Intention comes before action. So you need to have intention or resolution. You have to set up a goal for your action.
Okay,
so every time you want to meditate, you already have a resolution. I'm going to meditate. That's a resolution. You might make it more detailed, like I'm going to sit for 1 hour, regardless of what happened. I'm not going to get up until I finish until the hour comes. You can like the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree, he said, I'm not going to get up until I become enlightened.
Yes.
That's resolution. Then it has to be followed by sincerity. You have to be sincere with your resolution.
Yeah.
You have to be honest. And then followed by the effort to put in the work that you have set up to do. And then you also have to be patient or enduring if you have to face some difficulties in your practice. If you have these 4 qualities, then you'll be able to achieve anything you set out to do.
Great. Thank you so much, Ajahn. So,
okay.
Yeah. I'll be traveling in the next few weeks, so I might not be able to join your call. Then.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You can watch afterwards if you like. Anytime. It's on the Facebook page.
Yes. Thank you so much for the teaching. Yes.
Next, we'll go to Philip from Malaysia and Adeline, I'm sorry. You're free tonight, Adeline.
Nice to see you again, Ajahn.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yeah, I do have some questions.
Go ahead.
So if you're a meditator and you've been meditating for quite some time, but the anger keeps arising, how do you control it? Or because it's very easy to get angry.
If you can ignore it, then just ignore it and just keep focusing on your mantra or on your meditation object. If you ignore it, then eventually it will go away. But if it persists, keep on coming, then you have to deal with it. If you're angry with someone, then you have to forgive that person. We call using metta, loving kindness. Forgive the person for doing something wrong to you, because it's already gone, it's past. What was done, already done. You cannot change that anyway. So when you're angry and lose twice, you lose the stuff that you love, and then now you're losing your mind over that. Then you can stop that from yourself losing your mind, but just forgive the person, give pardon, and say, okay, no hard feeling, okay, God, what's done is done. This is a practice of loving kindness. To forgive is a practice of loving kindness.
It just arises, and then you're trying to control it, but it's difficult to
No, you cannot control it. You
Yeah,
either you have to deal with it with loving
Right.
kindness or ignore it, but you cannot control it.
I see. Okay. And then the other question that I have is people who are suffering from ADHD, attention deficit, how can meditation help them
Because
to
mindfulness, so all they have to do is
yeah,
just restart mindfulness. If you can tell them to recite the mantra, then they will get back their attention. Their mindfulness is attention. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
To be attentive, you need to have mindfulness.
So you just need to teach them to chant the mantra.
You know, something else. You might teach them other thing like counting or reciting the alphabet or something like that. This will force them to be mindful of what to do.
Okay. I'll try it and see.
Or maybe do some I'm not sure what, like some games or something that they can focus on, and then their mind cannot run away, go someplace else. This is another way of helping them to have mindfulness.
Because I know there's a lot of kids these days. Their mind is everywhere. So, and then they're a bit too young to sit very long to start meditating. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way.
Chanting, you tell them to
Yeah.
chant Itipiso Bhagava,
Okay.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Okay. Well, I'll print it out and have them recite
If
it.
you can do
Remember.
that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ajahn. That's all the questions I have for tonight.
Okay. What about you?
Everything is quiet. It's just, knowing
Good.
and just quiet. Nothing else.
Okay. Keep the mind calm and quiet. Then you have no problem.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go to who now? Mahesh. Hi, Mahesh. From India, right?
Hi, Ajahn. I'm from California.
From California, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I think this week, one of the things that came up was a lack of, lack, but I think drop in the faith in the practice. I felt like, just for a day or two, I felt like, all this, I'm not making any progress. It's not going to work. And why not I just why should I push myself and then kind of,
Take it easy. Relax.
take it easy and then watch online YouTube or movies or whatever, and then
indulge in sensual pleasure.
Indulgence in sensual pleasures, and then after a couple of days again it came back, and I again started sitting and doing it again. So how to deal with that during that time? Because during that time when the faith is not there, I don't want to go to a nearby Dhamma center, or I don't want to practice meditation.
You can either read Dhamma books, listen to Dhamma talks, something like that, to at least engage your mind with the Dhamma teaching, so that it can calm your mind down and give you some inspiration to continue on with more practices.
So there fundamentally, I think the problem is, will this work or not? There is this lack of faith that, will it work for me or not? I understand this is true. In general, these are good teachings, but will it work for me or not? Will I be able to get concentrated and then make progress in this life or not? Maybe it won't work for me, right? I think those kinds of thoughts will lead to this. So is it true that it will work for everyone, or because I've spent several years not in this Theravada practice but in other spiritual practices, and was not seeing results.
You can do mindfulness practice. That's the best way to energize your mind. That is like keep reciting the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto. It's just that simple. But you just have to do a lot of it, that's all, for it to show any result. Can you do that when you ever feel like you don't want to do anything else? Can you just keep reciting Bhutto, 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 Bhutto?
Yeah.
See, your mind is so weak and it's driven by your cravings, your desire, your defilement. So you need to use mindfulness to resist these cravings by your defilement. Like keep reciting Bhutto, 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 Bhutto. But you have to do it for a while, not just a few minutes. Might take a while. Sometime maybe half a day or something like that. But eventually your mind will calm down and find peace and contentment.
So I watch the body movement sometimes in the morning, and later on, later on I try to forget that. But I'll also remember to go back to Buddha or use Buddha more. So that I repeat Buddha all the time. And the other question is, when I'm sitting and when I'm trying to focus on the breath, even though the mind is, I keep getting pulled away from the breath, I sense that the body is calming down, like in like say few minutes, like say 5 to 10 minutes, the body seems to have calmed down. But again, the mind, I'm on the breath and off, coming back and all. But then I think there is a sense of this whole, like everything calmed down, right? But this problem is this not being able to stay on the breath and just getting pulled away, and I'm coming back and getting pulled away. And on some days this happens more, on other days less. What could be the reasons for that, and what other things can I externally, what other things could influence that and that I can change?
Well, it's a fight between your mindfulness and your defilement, really. If your defilement becomes stronger, then you have restlessness and agitation. If your mindfulness becomes stronger, then you have calm and peace. So it's a matter of generating more mindfulness, really, to cope with your defilements. So you either recite a mantra. If you cannot watch your breath, then you should recite the mantra or do some chanting. If you can remember some verses, just keep reciting those verses repeatedly until your mind start to become calmer and calmer.
Okay, yeah, I recite Itipisos.
Yeah, you can do that. Just
like
recite that but you have to do it for a while until you feel the mind start to become calmer and calmer.
Okay. And and when for following the 8 precepts, one of the things that is hard for me is that not eating after noon. So when I try to do that, what happens is late in the night I get hungry, and then I'm not able to sleep, and that impacts my sleep. I sleep late or like late. So how do I
Just keep the 7 precepts. Just keep
deal
the
with
7
that?
precepts and ignore the 6th precept first.
Okay. Is there any way to deal with that hunger thing and do it? Any other alternatives or any other thing that I
When
can
your
do?
mind becomes stronger, when your mindfulness becomes stronger, then you'll be able to fast. Right now, you're able to resist your hunger, pain. So just don't observe this precept. Just keep the 7 precepts, the other 7 precepts, and practice. But you will have the difficulty if you eat a lot. You'll feel drowsy and sleepy when you meditate. That's the cause of your drowsiness. If you don't want to have any drowsiness or laziness to meditate, then you have to reduce your food consumption.
Yeah, so maybe I can probably
You can
keep
reduce
some.
them half of them into 50%, but you can still eat 3 meals a day if you like.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
see how that works for you.
Okay. And also will like as an alternative, maybe deciding not to snack at all other than those prescribed times. Will that also help in keeping the mind away from thinking about
Oh,
food
you
or
have
like?
to look at the unpleasant parts of the food. Like when the food enter your mouth and chew and being mixed with your saliva, for instance. Think of those images. Or when you have to excrete it out of your body.
Mm.
If you look at that food like that, then you can become aversion. You start to have aversion for food.
Okay.
Don't think of the food on the plate because it's delicious, it's inviting. Think of the plate, think of the food when it comes out of your body. They are food, right? It just from the other end, it comes going to one end and it comes out the other end.
Okay. One of the thing is that takes up my time when I notice is this watching YouTube or like or being or surfing online, um, uh, anything to do with a computer that like takes away your use of it for entertainment. How do I? Are there any tips to overcome that? Because let's say during the day, if I try to like practice and I can do meditation maybe a few times a day, like 2 or 3 times. After third time or so, this is on a day when I'm totally free, right? Like after third time, then I can't do meditation. I'll try to do walking meditation once or twice, but after that, I'm bored. And goes to some kind of entertainment, like watching or reading something online. Then I get goes into that, and so there's some time that takes away during that. So
Yes,
how can I avoid that?
you accept that they are like drugs, they are addiction, like alcohol, that you are addicted to them. And if you want to stop, then you have to be resolute and tell you stop. There's no other way about it. You know. Just stop and don't watch. If you can accept the problem, and the way to fix is to face the fact that the only way to do this is to stop it. If you don't stop, then you'll keep doing it. It becomes a habit. It becomes an addiction.
So part of the reason there for the wanting to entertain is that I cannot do Dhamma activities whole day. There is some boredom in doing Dhamma activities all day. Meditation, this thing, meditation walk. There's a limit to how much I can meditate and walking meditation a day, and then yeah, how do I think that boredom to
Oh,
dealing with that is the
you may
problem.
have to do your practice moderately. I mean, do some meditation and then go back and watch some YouTube, but do more, not in the full scale like you used to do. Reduce the YouTube watching to 50% and increase your practice a little bit more, to balance the two. So whenever you feel like bored, okay, then you start meditating and then you go watch YouTube for a few minutes, and then after that, after you feel okay, then stop watching and come back and meditate again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, but
If
maybe
you cannot do
doesn't
it
help.
cold turkey, then you just have to do it gradually.
Okay.
But unless you keep trying, see, and one day you'll win. It might take longer than just to stop it completely right away, which might not be might not be possible because you might not have the strength to do it yet. try to reduce down your sensual pleasures and try to increase your meditation practice as you move along. Decrease one and increase the other.
Okay. Yeah. And is there any suggestion or fix to overcome laziness? This doesn't come much in Dhamma practice, but in other activities of my life, there is an inertia to do certain things. Is there any other than just doing it? Of course, I mean, just trying to just do it is the thing. But other than that, is there any suggestions?
Well, think of the consequence of doing and not doing, which is better. When you do, you get something back in return. If you don't do anything, then you don't get anything back. Look at the consequence of your action or inaction. Like if you go to work, you get salary, you get paid. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Okay, understand?
Yeah. Okay.
If you meditate, you get peace and contentment. If you don't meditate, you got restlessness and agitation. Simple. That's the consequence. What do you want? Your restlessness and agitation, or you want peace and contentment?
So one last question is about like there is one doubt in the mind where it feels like if I do only samatha meditation in this life, and if I don't get concentrated, then I'm not taking anything to the next life. But on the other hand, if I do some kind of insight practice, not in the Theravada side where samatha is recommended before insight, but let's say in Zen or somewhere where you're just sitting and trying to be aware, just open awareness kind of meditation, will that insight can get carried over to next life, or that insight can be maybe that
you can take over with you both samatha and insight. You can take meditation with you, and you also can take insight with you. But before you can go to insight, you need to have samatha or meditation first. You need to have a calm mind before you can develop wisdom. So don't go to wisdom yet when you haven't yet achieved any jhana. It will not be wisdom. It will just be merely thinking thoughts. And this don't go with you, because they just thought, and then you think about it, and then you forget about it a few hours later. But if it's wisdom, it will stay with your mind, go with your mind.
Okay. So you don't think the open awareness kind of meditation will work if you don't have concentration before?
What do you mean by open awareness?
Open awareness is just where we're not trying to put the mind on any object, but we're just observing, or we're just trying to be aware of whatever is happening, whether it is anything that is happening now, not actively focusing on one thing, but just overall whatever is happening.
Well, see, the problem with this is you can make your mind agitated and restless from what you see and what you observe. If you don't have strong mindfulness, you will not be able to stop your mind from reacting to what you observe.
Mm-hmm.
So you need mindfulness and meditation to have a still mind before you can observe anything effectively. The goal is to let go of everything. Can you do that when you see somebody saying something bad to you? You can say you can just remain calm and not be affected by what they say or what they do.
Yeah.
So you need practice meditation, because if you have jhana, when you come out of jhana, you can ignore anybody, whatever they do, whatever they say, it will not bother you. Then you can observe everything in a detached manner, not in a reactive manner. Right now, your mind is very reactive, very reactive. You want to deactivate this reactive mind to make it just a non-reactive mind, just be a merely a knowing mind. You need jhana to do this. You need meditation. So people want to go to the easy part without going to the hard part.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Ajahn. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to repeat Buddha all the time. I think that seems to be the
Yeah, that's the
main
best solution
fix.
for you
Yeah,
right
best
now.
solution. Yeah.
Simple and easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Fine. Next, Professor Ken. You're back from your retreat
Hello, Ajahn. Yes, I'm back.
because I didn't see you last week, so I presume you must have been gone to your retreat.
Yeah, I was up at the monastery for a while, so it's very quiet, peaceful.
Feel good? Feel calm?
Very quiet, calm, peaceful.
Not reacting?
No, it was generally very unreactive.
Yeah, good.
I also had a chance to improve my cooking skills a little bit in the morning.
Were there any complaints?
Oh, fortunately the monks are not allowed to complain, so
Yeah.
it's
That's right. You're
but
lucky.
we all survived, so
Mm,
it's okay.
good.
Ajahn, I'd like to ask a question. Just a little bit earlier, we were talking about forgiveness. If there's anger coming up, my question is: if we want to forgive someone, but they don't want to listen, or they don't even believe they've done anything wrong, what's the approach to forgiveness in that sort of situation?
Oh, your forgiveness doesn't deal with the other person. See, your forgiveness deal with your anger. That's all. You want to stop your anger, whether the other person accept it or not. That's their business. But your business is to just let go, forgive them. Then your mind will then become calm and loving again, not hating. Whether
So
that
it's-
person accept it or not, or anything, that's not our business to worry about. We just don't reacting to them. We don't try to hurt them or retaliate or anything like that. That's all. That's what we want to do with ourselves to regain our calm and stability. It doesn't matter whether the person realize that they have done something wrong to you or not. That doesn't matter. What matters is how to make your mind calm. And the way to make your mind calm is to stop your anger by forgiving.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, that's clear. It's very helpful, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Penang.
Thank you.
Penang outsourcing from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions, just listening and paying respect to Ajahn.
Okay, with Yenso also from Penang.
Ajahn, just to pay respect. I'm listening, no question.
Okay. Go to the UK with Rohini.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Can I just give an update on my practice?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I do my sitting meditation 3 or 4 times a day on average, and on breath meditation, 15 minutes to an hour in one sitting, and all other time I just try to maintain my mindfulness, but no full mindfulness yet, but I try. I certainly experience more calmness in my mind than a year ago. That's how it is at the moment.
Just be patient. Keep practicing more meditation now. Don't worry
Yeah.
about the wisdom or anything else. Right now, just try to still your mind as much as possible.
I also want to thank you for your tremendous advice and help given to me and to other everyone. Can I clarify something?
Sure, go ahead.
In Appana Samadhi, Vijnana, which is the connector to the mind and the sense of 5 sense organs, and does all 5 type of Vijnana get disconnected from the Chitta in Appana Samadhi?
More or less, it's disconnected from the body. It doesn't, when it's fully absorbed in jhana, then it doesn't have any knowledge of the body at all in the mind. The mind becomes empty, like floating in space.
Is this the reason that why there is no feelings in Appana Samadhi?
Yeah, there's no feeling. They're just calm.
Oh, okay.
And the peace and contentment arising from the calm, not from the feelings. Vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana temporarily stop its functioning.
Oh, okay.
If you are in full samadhi, but if you are in partial samadhi, sometimes you can still feel the pain from the body, but the mind doesn't react to those pain.
Okay.
So there
Okay.
are two types of samadhi: partially disconnected from the body, or fully disconnected from the body.
Two level within Appana Samadhi or the
Two types, let's say two types of appana samadhi, where
oh,
both sides have equanimity in them. You're not disconnected from the body, but you're not reacting to the body, to the sensual things that come into your mind.
yeah.
Or you're totally disconnected and you have no sensual objects enter into your mind at all. Your mind is in empty space, like floating in space.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. There's no more questions and
Yeah, just keep practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness will lead you to these two types of samadhi.
like really like during the sitting meditation, like feeling like swallowing saliva, does it have a negative effect?
You should ignore it, because if you do, then you're still clinging to the body. See? When you meditate, you want to leave the body alone.
Okay.
In order to sever your connection with the body. But you should not react to anything physical, like pain or saliva or itches, anything like that might come up.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next, Nita and Saket. How are you coping with your new environment?
Good evening, Ajahn.
Is there a big culture shock or not?
Culture shock? No, because we've lived here before. But yeah, things seem a bit more difficult now since we have come back. At least for me, what I feel is in US, it was like a fortress of Kalyana Mittas we had, and there was calm and peace and less of defilements. Here I don't have that fortress, and I feel that defilements are quite contagious. and my shield of Shila Samadhi Panya is not that strong, so I keep getting infected. And I keep getting a lot of defilements in my mind.
So you have to do a lot of mantra then.
Lot of mantra. I keep trying to repeat a few mantras that like some lines that you've told in the past, like world is an illusion. So whenever things become really tough, I keep saying world is an illusion, world is an illusion. Sometimes I say thinking is defilement, thinking is defilement. But yeah, it's quite exhausting. these defilements, they keep coming up, and it's quite exhausting overall.
And not to react to anything. Try to remain just merely knowing, accepting, acknowledging.
Yeah.
If you want to react, then you have to use the mantra. Stop it from acting.
Yes, Ajahn. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying to build build my mindfulness. I keep practice chanting mind the situation. And I feel when I lose mindfulness and the defilements are quite strong, then there are situations where there are some situations where I do wrong speech and wrong action, which leads to during my meditation, which leads to remorse and guilt. So it's become sort of a vicious circle for me in my mind. I'm trying to cope with it.
Just forgive yourself. You say you're still human. You're not saint yet, so you make mistakes. This is what they mean by having loving kindness for yourself. You have to also be made that self, not just to other people. You forgive other people. You also have to forgive yourself also. Don't bring any retribution to yourself on yourself. Don't punish yourself. It doesn't make anything better. Just forgive and forget and move on. Or use it as a lesson, remind you not to repeat the same mistake again. But it's useless to feel guilty or remorseful. Rather, better to accept your fault and then try to correct it the next time.
Metta to myself, yes. I'll try.
Yeah, don't punish yourself unnecessarily. Forgive and forget, and then you can move on, and then you can meditate.
Yes, when I'm meditating, sometimes I do get into deeper meditations and I really like it. And I do feel partial disconnection. Once a while, I have felt full disconnection, and that has been blissful. I think that gives me hope that I can still do it.
Yes, as long as you have mindfulness, you can do it. So you have to maintain mindfulness when you meditate. Don't think about what you have achieved previously and hoping or expecting it to come up again. This will not come up. You have to forget what you have achieved in the past and restart your practice. That's if you're starting a new page. Mindful, that's all. Mindful of your breath, mindful of your mantra. Then what you have achieved in the past will come back again. Not by wishing, not by thinking about it, but by being mindful of your mantra or your meditation object.
I keep trying, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay, how about you, Saket?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. So I also feel that, there's a lot of sensory input where we are in India. If we just step out, there's just so much of, it's very loud over here as compared to when we were in the US. And also, I think there's many more householder duties like Neeta was sharing, which are coming our way. And I sometimes worry that maybe I'm also taking like a step back. And I think I appreciated your advice, Ajahn Suchart, of taking starting anew. So maybe is that something I should keep in mind, that every day, okay, I'm going to follow the 5 precepts, or I'm going to take maybe 1 or 2 more of the 8 precepts and just do my best to follow that and meditate twice a day, and that's it, and not overthink it. Is that the right approach, or how should I approach this, Rajan?
The approach is to do the practice, especially the mindfulness. Try to maintain mindfulness all the time. Don't let your mind think about the past or worry about the future. Things only happen now in the present. What happened in the past is already gone. What will happen in the future hasn't come yet. So don't worry about the past or the future. Just try to stay in the present and clear your mind, empty your mind. Make your mind empty by reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto, or be mindful of what you're doing with your body. That's all. The less thinking you have, the less defilement you'll get, because your defilement rely on your thinking as the means of expressing themselves.
Certainly, Rajan. And also, next week I'm coming to Thailand, and I'll be there for 5 weeks in Thailand, and hopefully I'll also come to Wat Yan, and let's see if that works out. If this place, then maybe around the 21st of March, I'll be there for a few days.
Good. Okay, then I can see you personally.
Yes.
You both, or just you yourself?
I will be there for 3 days or so. Nita may come for the daytime for 1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days.
Okay. Hope to see you then.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rajan.
Okay. You're welcome. Next, Tommy from Australia. Tommy, can you hear me? You look different today. Shaving day for you also?
Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully I have a better connection this week.
Good. What can I do?
Is it coming through?
What can I do for you?
I wanted to ask, I've been keeping the 8 precepts for 85 days now, living alone. And my family they think I've gone crazy wearing white and shaving my hair off and keeping the 8 precepts. And they're getting frustrated and angry with me. And I can't avoid them because I rent a house from them. And it bring up a lot of restlessness and anger in me with their reaction. And so I start to have thoughts about moving somewhere quiet where I can just be a total hermit. But I'm not sure if it's restlessness or if I'm just supposed to endure. And also, I'm afraid if I go somewhere new, my practice will degenerate. And sometimes I have like a few moments of this where my mindfulness slips and I get a kind of glimpse of what it used to be like. And it scares me. I'm just wondering if you had any thoughts on this.
Well, if you can remain staying here where you are, that will be the right solution. But you have to change your attitude toward the people around you. So you get restless and agitated because you want them to understand you, but they don't understand you. That's the point. So you just have to let them be. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to explain to them because they don't understand. It's like speaking 2 different languages.
Yeah.
So don't expect anything from them, that's all. Let them get angry at you, let them be whatever they want to be. But you just stay calm and continue on with your mindfulness and meditation.
Okay. I had this experience on the day where I got really restless and really angry. I just I keep with the Buddha all day, and I just alternate sitting and walking. And all day I was like, oh, I have to leave, and then proliferating about where to go. But then when the sun went down, I sat and my mind become really bright, and the pity and become so strong. It's like a pressure on my face, pushing against my face, and then it kind of went deeper and it pushed straight through me, and then it's kind of like my body dissolved into like it's like when you see a TV screen with no signal and it's like static. And then really strong sukha, and then it go back and forth like this, and then the sexual desire come up, and have like a nimitta of the body, and then it disintegrate, and then it go back into the no thinking, and I just keep going back and forth like this, different bodies coming up, and so I started contemplating about, this restlessness, like it was here before, now it's gone. And then I finish and I go get on my walking path and start doing the body contemplation and begin with the 32 parts. Then I just kind of let go of the 32 parts and let the mind go wherever it wants. And I just start seeing parts of the body never looked at before, like skin on the bottom of the feet, or the back of the eyeball, or like flaky skin around the eye. And yeah, just a kind of a different type of sukha vedana than samadhi. Feel really different, kind of hard to describe, really odd feeling of like seeing it as like disassociated. So yeah, that was my experience.
It will be better if we can just focus on a mantra or something, and then keep the mind empty, because these images or things that are appearing can be quite taxing sometimes also, Sometimes they are good and sometimes they are bad. So if you can make the mind empty, that's the best place for the mind to be. So if you start to see all these things, I think you should come back to mindfulness. Be mindful of something, and then ignore everything that comes up. Don't let the mind produce all these things. You have to control the mind, stop the mind from controlling, from producing these things. They're not good.
So this is when sitting, yeah?
Sitting or walking or standing, all day long, if your mind is producing something, then you should use mindfulness to stop it. Mantra, the 32 parts or something, chanting. Don't follow the mind. Don't allow the mind free rein to do anything.
Okay. So just stay with the 32 parts.
Yeah, you have to keep a tight rein on your mind.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, good. Next, we'll go to Steph from Oregon.
Hi, really good to see you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Everything okay?
Yes, I've been controlling the mind. Renunciation is key. Doing really good.
Okay. Keep it stable. Keep it calm.
calm.
All right, good.
Thank
Next,
you.
Marco from Holland.
Hi, Ajahn, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I would like to report my homework if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
It's been going well. My meditation seems to be progressing, less expectations and better results in the sense of more peacefulness. My mindfulness training seems to be going well. Do realize that the current situation at work, there's actually situations where, for instance, I have this routine when I do my showering in the morning. I'm mindful of all my movements. I'm mindful of all the steps that I take. And this past week, it's been a couple of times that I realized I had my clothes on, and I was like, "Oh, the mind was completely gone there." It was just with work or wherever, and I'm realizing those moments now, which are, I think, good for me to realize. At the same time, I think it's a result of being more mindful constantly, which is working well. So all in all, I'm pretty very happy about it. I still have some doubts if I'm too eager sometimes to get results, and that when I notice that happening, I try to go back to my breathing and saying Bhutto, which is going okay. Do realize that I'm also now able to distance myself from previous behavior. So in the past, I was really suffering from thinking back of what I did, of the actions that I've taken, and now I really feel that that's not me as a person, and I've distanced myself from it. Not taking away, of course, the lessons that I've learned because they're there, but I feel I'm not getting angry anymore when talking about, and that's good. I feel that there's less emotion. I have the feeling that emotion more fire than anything else, and that whenever I try to talk about something and there's an emotion inside, it doesn't work. It's not really bring anything. So I try to take the emotion away, and I'm also trying to lower my expectations when talking to other people. My expectation of myself, that I don't have to correct people, that I don't have to make my point clear. It doesn't matter. It's just, as you've always wisely said, it's just wind that's going towards me. And I realize that sometimes the way I communicate, it actually might affect people. So I'm starting to look more inside how I can prevent that from happening, because at the same time, I don't want to hurt other people with my behavior, which I think is going okay. So all in all, I'm fairly positive.
Good. No issue with anybody.
No, I try. There was an issue at work, and somebody felt really affected and went home feeling bad, and I was upset about that because I didn't think it was professional. But then, actually, later I started to feel meta, and I was thinking like, well, if I'm the reason for somebody feeling like that, it doesn't have anything to do about professionalism. It's not good to make anybody feel bad at all. So we had a conversation about it, and I reported it as properly as I could. And I have the feeling that I've given it a place, and I'm trying to be, again, this comes that I think down to mindfulness, that when I'm speaking to this person, I have to be more mindful and keep in mind the feelings of that person. I mean, there's no point in me speaking in a different way or anything. This is all relating to work anyway. I should just be, I don't know, have more meta really. So I think I'm trying to take everything up on Ayiko now. I really want to look at myself with everything that's happening and not reflect it on others anymore, because that's what I did in the past, for good or for bad. I was always trying to see how people were thinking about me or how people affected me with their behavior. And I'm now realizing that everything that happens, I'm creating myself anyway. So let's first go inside. What's the feeling that's coming up? What's under it? Is it greed, anger, hate? What's the problem? Is there lust? Is there whatever is there? That's where the source is. And I'm seeing now that by having emotions, that just fuels it. And in the past, if I would get into discussions, I would just fuel that fire, and I would just make it worse. And I would want to see somebody, or want to have somebody else see my point of view. And I'm like, I'm not able to ever get that to happen. So why do it? So I'll just let go. So, and then when you go inside, it feels better. And then it's actually, that's the calming bit. I think it comes back to like, oh, since it's in myself, then I can actually let go. I'm not dependent on anybody else to let go. And I think that gives confidence. So it's going well.
Yeah, try to look at everybody as a natural phenomena, like the wind and the rain. You cannot tell them when to rain or when to blow or what to do. Just let them be, that's all.
True. Very true. I noticed just now that somebody turned off the light here in the conference room, and I felt this anger come up. I'm like, it's okay. It's just light. Not bad. It's okay. What's going on?
Everything that happened is you should consider it to be normal.
Yeah. This morning somebody asked me at work, how are you doing? I said everything's perfect. I said everything's perfect as to all the causes that led to this exact moment to be the way it is, and anything else would not be perfect. So I figured like it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Okay. So any question?
Well, I wanted to ask a question, but I think, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think I know the answer. The answer is be more mindful. So when I was in my meditation and I started to feel the pity again come up, and I felt like I was going down, I don't know, it felt like I'm going down inside my own body, or feel like getting smaller. Then I was interested about that feeling, and then when I got interested about the feeling, it went away, and it was okay, back to the breathing again. So I think it's be more mindful, just go back to the breathing and don't explore it. I think that's the key, right?
Yeah, you know everything. Just concentrate on your breathing. You want to go to something better, which is calm and stillness of mind.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. What happened to your wife and son? They didn't show up last week. I wonder.
Yeah, I wasn't there either last week actually because of work, unfortunately. But yeah, they've been busy. Let's put it like that. They've been busy. I'll let them report what happened.
Okay, no problem. Just wondering, that's all.
No, they do. It's funny. So I was talking to my son the other day, and I always say to him like, well, if you have a question, ask Ajahn. He's gonna give you a good answer to that. And I've been talking about him about his meditation because he seemed to be having some doubts. I just want to have him. Of course, I can't control this, but I'm convinced that when he gets his first like experience of feeling peaceful after the meditation, he's gonna be more excited about it. And I told him, well, if you take the time, it's like everything else. You just have to take the first step and then do your best to get to the second step, right? It's sometimes you just, I mean, for myself as well, there's moments that I don't want to sit down for meditation because I just want to have a cup of coffee or whatever. Like, but if you do it, it's good. So if you make it a routine, it's easier. And then I told him, like, when you get that moment, you're gonna feel good about it. And then I said, and if you do, I'm not a teacher. I can't teach you. I told him, but Ajahn can. So I'm gonna ask him all the questions. He says, yes, I'll write it down. And then he doesn't because he feels like playing or whatever. And that's fine. But I just like it's funny how when I look at my son, I have this feeling like, oh my, if I was his age and I had somebody like that to kind of guide me towards this would be awesome. But then I go again, like, yeah, but it wasn't that way. So why are you even looking back? It doesn't work like that. But yeah, I'm sure that they're going to be there tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Tanajan.
You're welcome. Next, I'll go to Penang with Christine Coe. You have to unmute your microphone first. Not unmute yet. Okay.
Unmute. Can hear?
Yes, can hear now.
Okay. Tanajan, I have one question tonight. Because my family member one of several gone to Thailand. Then they are doing the Go Buddha casting. Can I know, Tanajan, in Thailand is very used to offer Buddha statue with gold. Is there any meaning behind?
It's just a way of showing respect to the Buddha. So that you want to build a very expensive Buddha to show that you really respect the Buddha, and by that you hope to get a lot of merit from that. That's all.
or building a Buddha statue will go with a lot of merits?
Well, you have to put in a lot of money, so you have to sacrifice a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
With the king, sometimes they build an emerald Buddha. Yeah.
So,
But this is the way how lay people can show their respect. But for monks, we're supposed to show our respect by following his teaching, by practicing his teaching.
so if for us lay person, if we for us it's like taking the same amount, is that better to support the monk to practice instead of build the Buddha statue?
Well, it depends on what the need is. If there's a need to support the monk, then you should support the monk first, then rather than having a expensive Buddha image, because what's important in Buddhism is the monks who can study and practice and become enlightened, and then they can then become teachers to help other people. So this should be the first priority, is to support the monks, the good monks who really study and practice, monks who will eventually become enlightened one day. But if they are fully supported and you want to do some other thing, that's fine also. Like Dongta Mahabua, he used a lot of dana that he got to support the Bank of Thailand because they were in deficit.
Okay, okay.
So it depends on the need. You figure out which need goes up first, which is more important. But if you have nothing, no need to, you have plenty of money to spend, you want to build a big golden Buddha, you can do that also.
Okay, okay. I think we practice our own self is much better. Okay, that's all for tonight. I come in to pay respect to Tanajan. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Ricardo from Uruguay. What's the difference with Uruguay and Paraguay? Are they brothers and sister countries?
Hello, Tanachan. Nice to talk to you. We're no, really, we are apart, and
You're two separate
why?
countries. Are you not
Yes,
related
yes.
in any way?
We don't even have borders.
That are close to each other.
Close, yes.
I see.
Why?
Okay.
The last Y means river.
I see. Guay mean river. Para mean many river.
I don't know what para, but Uru means river of the birds.
I see. Okay.
That's from Guarani, another language that used to be before the Spanish came here. Thank you.
Okay, just wonder.
Yeah, thank you. I have no questions today. I just wanted to express that yesterday we have the hottest day in summer, like with a feeling temperature of 50 centigrade.
Celsius, yeah.
Yeah, very, very hot. But we are fine. I'm practicing very good, I think. I'm doing a good practice. And we are also programming a retreat here in Uruguay with a nun from West Virginia that is coming in April. She's Dhamma, and we will have a 1 week retreat here. Our Sangha is making this happen. So that's what about going on around here. And we are very happy to have this chance to practice with with
a
a
teacher.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
You still need guidance from teacher.
Yes. Yeah, we do. The best guidance is you. We also need retreats and also try to share to somebody, to the community here. Although it's not too big, but to this retreat we have like 17 persons that are going to attend. So we are happy for that.
Don't worry about the quantity, worry about the quality.
Yeah, true.
It only just took one man, the Buddha, to become enlightened. And then you see what happens after that.
Yes.
So become enlightened yourself, Ricardo. Don't worry about other people.
Yeah. But I don't know. I try to share the beauty of the Dharma, and that's why I make all this effort. Sometimes I get restless, and also we need a few people, because the cost of bringing the teacher from USA, it's a lot, and so we spread it with everyone else. But sometimes I feel like nobody is going to come, and all of a sudden everybody comes, and that's what the mind thinks, that we get things by doing, and the world, the universe works the way it has to work, right? So we have to have faith on the universe, the Dharma, the Buddha, and the Sangha. I think that's the teaching.
Okay. Good. It's good to have a group working together first. If you cannot practice alone yet, then you need to be in a group to encourage each other. Because we're still social animals. We still like to gather and talk and discuss. We cannot meditate yet. Once you know how to meditate, then you want to be alone.
Yes.
But you gather now to learn how to meditate, so that when you know how to meditate, then you can be alone later on. Okay, good anyway. I have to move on.
Yes, and also the question that some other practitioners in this Sangha make, it makes us move on and keep practicing on that. So thank you, Ajahn. Be well, be well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sadhu,
Next.
sadhu, sadhu.
Suchi, next Suchi. Hi, where are you from? You have to unmute the microphone first. On the bottom left corner of your. Okay.
Hello, Ajahn. I'm temporarily relocated in the UK, but I'm originally born and raised in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And I was practicing Buddhism in Sri Lanka. I'm happy to be participating actively with this meeting for the first time. But I have listened and watched this meeting for about 2 years now. I was introduced to your Facebook and this meeting by my Kalyana Mitra friends, Indi and Pial from Canada.
I see. Okay. I think they're also here in this meeting right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
I need to pay my respects to you, because though I was practicing Buddhism, it was all haphazard earlier until I started following you, because I learned the real practical Dhamma, and started practicing mindfulness on a daily basis from the time I woke up till when I
Totally.
to
That's
sleep.
right.
Yes. I need to improve on my meditation, that is sitting meditation. Improve in that I have to spend more time.
Yes.
But I am very much isolated and solitude here in the UK because I don't work. And I have very minimal social interaction. So I'm working on it, Tan Ajahn. And thank you. I want to pay my respects and express my gratitude to you, and also my gratitude to my friends, Indi and Piar.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope you are happy with your practice, living alone.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't live alone, but I am alone Monday to Friday, about 9 to 5, because my husband goes to work.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I have all the time as well as the space, the environment. I have to make up my mind to do more sitting
Yes,
meditation.
the more the better, because your giver is still your mind.
Yes, Sanat.
Okay. All right, nice
Yes,
talking to
Sanada.
you.
Yes, I have one little question. I was listening to one of the questions and answers sessions in English on the Facebook channel last week, and it was mentioned that some people combine the mantra with the breath meditation, like Buddho when they inhale and Bud when they inhale and Do when the air goes out.
Yes,
Have I understood it properly?
that's right. Some people like to do that because they feel they get more mindfulness from that.
Okay, because it works for me also.
Okay,
It works for
fine.
me also. I feel I can focus better.
Yes, at the start you might need to do this, but as you have more mindfulness, then you might just want to do just one thing, either watching the breath or recite the mantra.
Okay. Thank you, Kanada.
Okay, you're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
You're welcome. Next, I'll go to Singapore with Kok Seng. Hi, Kok Seng.
Yeah. Good evening, Prajan. Yeah. Prajan, please pardon me for my ignorance. How should I teach my mind when my mind doesn't feel like meditating? So what should I tell my
You
mind?
say you're losing your precious time. Say, time doesn't stop, say, waiting for you. Time just keep moving on, and your life becomes shorter and shorter. So if you don't hurry now, you might not have the time to finish your work. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prajan.
The Buddha teaches us to remind ourselves that death is coming. Yeah. All the time, it's keep approaching us closer and closer. So we should not be complacent. We should strive and do our practice as much as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Prajan.
Go back to California to Cove. Hi, Cove.
Hi, Tanajan. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I have a question about about speech. Occasionally, I find that I'll say something that I didn't mean or that was just slightly exaggerated when I'm speaking to someone, and I think I don't have enough mindfulness when I'm speaking. How can I improve on that?
Just be mindful. Just know what you're going to say before you say it. Watch your thoughts before you say it. Make sure that it's the truth, or if it's not the truth, then you should not say anything. So you have to practice more mindfulness. When you're when you are more mindful, then you can see your thoughts before you speak.
Yeah, currently I don't see my thought before I speak at all.
That's
It's
right.
just kind of blank.
Yeah, it comes from nowhere. Just suddenly come out.
Yeah, yeah. So it is possible to see
Yeah,
before.
if you practice more mindfulness, then you'll be able to see your thoughts before you speak or
Oh,
do
okay.
anything. Because when you practice mindfulness, you're bringing your mind back inside. Right now, your mind is outside toward the central objects, so you don't see the thought behind the mind that pushing it out. So when you meditate or you practice mindfulness, you're trying to bring the mind back inside. Then you'll start to see the thought which is inside the mind. Okay.
Okay. And one more question, Tanajan. These days, it's artificial intelligence is seemingly unavoidable as a layperson. It's like driverless cars or on the internet, Google kind of summarizes the searches for you through their artificial intelligence. I feel some aversion to it, but I do recognize that it's also change, part of the changing nature of technology, I guess. Do you have any advice for dealing with this?
They are just tools to help you do some work, the work that you do. If they're beneficial, you can use them. If they are harmful, then you should not use them. So they're just like a knife. You just have to know how to use the knife, right? You can use the knife to your benefit, or you can use the knife to your harm. It can hurt you. Depends on how you use it. So you have to be wise and smart how to use AI for the benefit, not for the harm. So you still need you still need the precept to be the one to guide your action. Whether you use AI or AI, you have to make sure that it's within the precept. You're not breaking the precept in any way.
Related to
Then you'll be safe. Then you'll be safe, and other people will be safe from your action.
Mm-hmm. I witnessed actually a food delivery robot cross the street, and I was driving and I waited for the robot to cross, and I wondered if there must be humans who wish to harm these things, these robots, and I was wondering if it's
you shouldn't harm
it's
because
still harming.
Even though it's not a being, it's still a property. You don't want to destroy property of other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like a car. You don't want to ram into a car, right?
Right.
Whether it's driven by an AI or by a human being, it's still a car. You don't want to destroy the property.
Mm-hmm.
It's like breaking the second precept, stealing.
Yes.
Causing damage to other people's properties, like stealing their money, because they need the money to repair it.
Mm-hmm.
So you still want to make sure that you don't hurt other people or other things. Right now we start to have a lot of inanimate things now.
Yes.
So we don't want to hurt them or cause any destruction or damage to anything or anybody. You still want to be metta, you still want to show loving kindness. toward everything. Okay.
I understand. Yes, I understand. Thank you, Tanajan.
Just treat them like another human being, that's all.
Yeah, some of them have eyes that light up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They can communicate with you. Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, go back to Singapore, to Sulan. Hi, Sulan. Haven't seen you for a while. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you, Ajahn. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Any question from you tonight?
Yes, I have two. I have prepared.
Okay, go ahead.
First question. Is it important to put in effort to maintain an upright posture for a sustained meditation? Maintaining an upright posture can be tiring. Is it okay to start?
When you start meditating, you want to sit upright. But when you start to meditate, you should ignore the body. Don't think about the body. Just focus on your meditation object only. Don't worry about the body. If it should lean sideways or back way or whatever, just leave the body alone.
Oh, so even if like the body just naturally want to stop, just let
Yeah,
it.
ignore, because if you do, you become distracted from your meditation, and you won't be able to achieve any success in your meditation if you keep moving the body back and forth. If you keep adjusting the body. So no need to adjust the body once you have started meditating. Just keep watching your breath or focus on your mantra.
And like the upright posture doesn't affect how long we can meditate, is it?
When you start, you should sit upright. Once you started, then you can forget about it. What's important is your mindfulness. If you have an upright position of the body, but you have no mindfulness, then it's useless. It's mindfulness that's the important factor in meditation.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
My next question is the Buddha and his noble disciples have very strong resolution, such that the Buddha was resolved to sit at the Bodhi tree until he get enlightened. So that he is willing to put his life on the stake to attain enlightenment. How does one have cultivate such strong resolution? And does this strength of resolution come from wanting to benefit others or to liberate oneself? Which one can bring about greater resolution strength? I'm asking this because my resolution is very weak. I keep changing my mind. Yeah.
Well, you have to keep repeating doing it. See? The more you do it, then the stronger your resolution will become. When you started, you might not have a strong resolution yet, but as you try to keep on doing it, it will become stronger and stronger. So it's a matter of practice. And practicing, keeping your resolution also, that matters. When you set up a resolution, try not to break it up. Try to keep it. And as you move along, your resolution will be stronger, and breaking it up will be harder. Okay, just be patient. Right now, you might be like a baby, so you need to develop. You have to grow up. Your mind is like still a baby. Your mind is still like a baby, so it takes time to grow up. But you have to nurture it in the right way. Nurture it to be resolute. Practice resolution.
And
if you break any resolution, you should punish yourself. Like stop going to a movie or stop buying something that you don't need to buy, for instance. then it will have consequences. And then you know every time you break the resolution, you have to pay.
Oh yeah. There's a penalty for every action.
Okay.
So when I make all this resolution, like I should think of it as I'm doing this for myself.
That's right.
It's not for like, oh, I do for others.
Yes. Sometimes you might do for others also, but mainly it's for yourself.
Mm.
Because if you don't have resolution, you will not be able to achieve anything.
Mm.
You have to set up a resolution first, then your action will follow. If there's no resolution, then there will be no action to follow. So no achievement. In order to achieve something, you first have to set up a goal. I want to become a doctor. Then you follow that goal by studying hard, and eventually you'll become a doctor.
But if
Okay.
like I don't have anything that I want to become, then should I like base my resolution to link it with others?
There is something you want to become something, definitely. You just don't know yet, that's all. You want to be happy, right? Okay. Then if you want to be happy, meditate.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when you meditate, you become happy. And it's the best form of happiness because you don't have to pay. If you want to be happy by going on a holiday, then you have to pay. And if you don't have the money to pay, then you won't be able to achieve it. But with meditation, you don't need money. You just need the time and a quiet place to meditate, that's all.
Okay. So that's the correct way to think of it, that I want to be happy and I'm doing it for myself. That's
Right.
why I have to meditate.
Everybody wants to be happy. No one wants to have any sadness or suffering.
Okay.
All right? I have to go now because there's still a few people waiting, okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, you're
I really
welcome.
benefit.
Next, Piao and Indira.
Good morning from Ajahn.
Good morning, Ajahn.
How are
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, our friend
Suchi.
She was asking for a long time. So finally, I think she joined. I was happy to see her.
She was watching everything, but today she
So we were together in medical school together. So
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Okay.
Is she a doctor also?
Yeah, she's
okay. And her husband is also a doctor.
Yeah.
Window.
No. Husband went to a different school. I think he's a bit senior, but he's still working in England. I believe that's what she said.
Yeah, good.
Ajahn, I have a question because some mentioned artificial intelligence. Recently, a friend of ours in Sri Lanka, one of her relatives was sort of taking sutras and using artificial intelligence to
and make like a discussion. Q&A
kind of thing. So my friend, she sent it to Pial to listen and see. I listened to, but Pial was saying it's kind of the meanings have been altered a little bit. So I did not want, they wanted Pial to sort of get involved, but I didn't want to. Do you think it's a good thing? Because Dhamma, from what I know, like Buddha had said, sort of changing or altering Dhamma is...
I think it's an interesting format. It's nice to listen to, but the facts, I think they kind of taken the facts off a website and created like a conversation and taking, and one was Chula Rahula Vada Sutta, and then also about different Satipatthana Sutta. So sometimes some of them are completely wrong, the definitions, but maybe that's where the website put it like that. Somebody wrote it. and taken from the website. So I didn't want to get involved.
The thing is, Ajahn, there are sutras for anybody.
To read.
The Tripitaka is there to read. So I thought that would be the best. I don't know.
I'm worried
we
this
didn't want
Dhamma
to-
is going on a different direction.
I think you have to use the Kalama Sutta to decide.
Exactly.
The Buddha said, don't
Exactly.
believe in anything you see or hear until you can prove it. That's all. The Kalama Sutta is very current, even though it's 2,500 years old already, but it's still very current, especially in this world of fake news and artificial intelligence.
True.
Yeah, I think Buddha warned this already. He saw this is coming. He said it's called Saddhamma Patirupaka Sutra, where there in the future monks, be careful. There'll be something like gold, like it's listening more, very, very beautiful, but it's not gold. So Dhamma too, there'll be Dhamma just like Dhamma, but it is not real Dhamma, not true Dhamma.
That's right.
So monks, be careful.
Dhamma by imagination, not Dhamma by experience.
Yes, that's so true. So true. Thank you, Ajahn. I just wanted to check with you because
Just
I
don't
felt
believe
bad.
anybody, even me, don't believe me until you prove I'm wrong or something.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we can't stop this. It's going to happen sooner or later. These AI people are going to
It's
use
just a
this.
tool, it's just like a calculator. With other sources.
Yes. And also, if you don't want to get involved, it's your choice. I mean,
You don't have to use it.
No,
Exactly.
I said get like a learned monk to review this before you send it to the internet. I said something like a person who is well versed in the sutra text and just let them review before you, because it might be doing more harm than good by trying to do this. Maybe a good intention is good, but to release this to the YouTube, but might cause a sort of harm if it's not the right facts for the sutta.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay, you're
Ajahn, for your
welcome.
advice. Yes.
You have to prove it. You have to prove everything that you hear, you see, whether it's true or not true.
Yes,
So that's the simple guide, simple rule to follow. Don't be gullible.
That's true, Ajahn. Yes. Practice is the best because it's open quote.
Yeah, it's like learning through the recipe. Don't get too caught unless you taste the food.
Yeah.
Make it yourself.
Make the food
then
and
you
see
know.
whether it's good or not.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions. Just happy to listen.
Okay, Dr. Nining. Hi, Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. As usual, I'm very happy today. I have two questions,
Go
Ajahn.
ahead.
Question number one about blessing in Buddhist. Is it wise if I say that I am blessed, since I know that I reap my karma from my own good deeds?
Yeah, it's okay to say that you're blessed with good karma.
Okay. Question two. In my daily life, as a daughter, I try to make my mom happy because I know that it is happy to be happy. My mom loves eating delicious food. Sometimes I cook for her or order food for her. In this case, I make condition for mom to enjoy the sensual pleasure. When I give my mom delicious food, it is more easier for me to teach Dhamma to her. So on one side, I teach her mind, but on the other side, I give her the sensual pleasure. So isn't it contradiction? Is it okay for me?
Well, it depends on her what she can absorb. So if she needs sensual pleasure now, then give her the sensual pleasure. If she cannot absorb meditation, you cannot tell her to go meditate and make her happy.
Actually, when
But as long as what you do or what you give her doesn't break the law or break the precept, then it's okay.
oh, I see. Because
Because everybody is not the same. Say somebody cannot meditate, so what can you do to make them happy? You give them something, right? Buy a new dress for them, a new pair of shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's
So it
no
depends on what type of mind the person is. If the person happy with meditation, then you should support that person to go meditate.
Oh, I see. Because when practicing loving kindness, as Ajahn said just now, that we shouldn't damage the mind. So I try my best to make my mom happy. As I know that delicious food costs more than average food. I have to
Okay.
pay more.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's right. I
There's nothing
want
wrong
to
with
make
that.
her happy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Ajahn.
It doesn't,
Okay.
you're not breaking the precept, you're not breaking the law. Then what's wrong with that?
So yeah, that's makes me happy because I want to ask Ajahn, am I correct? I mean, I'm afraid that I do something not wise or not good for my mind, also for my mom mind, like that. Okay, Ajahn.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Linda from Singapore.
Ajahn, no question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then I'll move on then because we're running out of time. Lavan from California.
No question, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. About Alvin from Malaysia.
Ajahn, no question. Just repeat my respect.
Okay. Alex Turpin from the UK, right? Alex?
Hello, Tanajan. Yes, that's correct. Yes. I would like to update you, if I may, with my practice at the moment. It's been very stagnant. I haven't made much progress at all. I've been practicing, I would say diligently, although not consistently, for I don't know, between 9 months and a year, something like that. Probably between 6 months and a year, actually. But it just seems that I've hit a wall where I don't seem to be making much progress, and I really, if I'm spending a lot of time and effort on practicing, Buddho, practicing my walking meditation and so on, but it doesn't seem to be amounting to much. And I've been experiencing problems with physical pain and illness, things like that, and I'm not quite where I can rely on, well, I'm not at a point where I can rely on the sort of pleasure associated with concentration yet. My concentration's not that strong. So my question is, how do I deal with this sort of in-between point where I haven't attained jhana yet, at least not to my knowledge, at least not consistently, but at the same time, I'm still, because apparently you have to sort of abandon a desire for sense pleasures before you, in order to attain jhana. But then, in order to do that, in order to sort of not be tempted by sense pleasures, you have to attain jhana. So it seems like a chicken and egg scenario. And I just don't know what to do in this in-between period where I don't seem to be getting any happiness except by participating in sense pleasures like music and TV and so on. Do you have any advice?
Yes,
please?
you have to go into a meditation retreat because your environment is not conducive for you to advance anymore. So you need to have a new environment which is more stricter. Like when you go to a retreat, you have nothing else to do but meditate and all day long.
It's not even that I don't want to meditate. It's just that I've been in a lot of pain, so it's hard to So when I put, when I watch television or want to listen to music, it's not because I enjoy those things. It's to escape, the pain of, I don't know, I have a bad back, or I've got one kind of pain or another, or the pain of just general illness. That's why I do it. So it's my environment is quite a peaceful and quiet. It's quite peaceful and quiet. It's just and I'm perfectly capable of, not engaging in sense pleasures. It's just that I keep coming back to them because I don't have a better form of happiness available.
Well, you should have to force yourself to apply the meditation as a remedy to your pain, not the sensual pleasures.
But what happens when I don't get any pleasure out of the meditation? And that happens for a long time.
But you have to keep on persisting, keep on practicing until eventually you achieve the result.
Right.
It's like climbing the mountain. When you're climbing the mountain, it's not easy and it's not comfortable. But if you keep climbing, eventually you get to the top. Once you get to the top, then you can enjoy the pleasure of success. So you just have to keep on practicing mindfulness and meditation. And if you feel it's not stimulating enough, then you might have to, like I said, go to a retreat where you can do it all the time and nothing else, and do nothing else. Concentrate more on your practice.
I have the time and space to, sorry.
And go to a place where you cannot access the sensual objects, like watching TVs or YouTube and so forth. Only thing you could do is just meditate.
I see.
Then you're forced to meditate because there's nothing else you can do.
Yes. Again, it's not meditating that's the problem. It's just meditating so much pain, and it's a desire to escape the pain by distracting myself. That's the difficulty I have with the discipline associated with meditation per se.
Well, just try to learn to live with the pain. You can use wisdom. The Buddha said the pain is like the weather. They are not under your control. They come and go as they like. So when they come, you just have to learn to accept them. Like when you have a storm, you cannot stop the storm from coming. Let it come, and then eventually it will go away. So too is your pain, right? Sometimes it comes and sometimes it's gone.
That's right. Yes, yes.
Okay, just treat it like a storm, like a natural phenomena.
Okay.
In which you cannot do anything. You cannot control it. You cannot stop it. So just let it come and go. You just use equanimity to withstand the pain. Use mantra, Bhutto, mindfulness. Don't try to get rid of the pain. This is the problem. See, your stress comes from your desire to get rid of the pain. With this, you can get rid of the stress, but you cannot get rid of the pain. But you can get rid of the stress that arises from your desire to get rid of the pain. So don't try to get rid of the pain. Accept the pain. Let it comes and go as it likes. Then there will be no stress in your mind, and then you'll find that it's okay to be with the pain too.
I had
Okay, understand?
I do understand. Yes, yes. I think
It's your craving or your desire for the pain to go away that's causing you the unbearable stress in your mind.
Yes, it's strange because I understand what you're saying intellectually, but practically speaking, it very often feels as if it's the pain itself that's the problem and not my reactions and thoughts about the pain.
Well, the pain is just a stimulator. It's a stimulator that stimulates the stronger pain in your mind, which is the stress from your desire to run away from the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So you must not run away. Just use mindfulness, mantra, and stay with the pain. But not trying to get rid of the pain, but just to be able to withstand the pain. Not reacting to the pain.
A few weeks ago. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you a related question, which is a few weeks ago I was very ill, and I woke up in the night and I was sort of coughing and choking. And I thought still don't know what the cause is. I don't know whether it was an asthma attack or a viral infection, but I was struggling to breathe for a good maybe 20, 30 seconds or longer. And I thought I was going to die, and I didn't know what to do. And I was quite panicked, and I just recited Buddho, 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 because I didn't know what else to do. And as I've said, my mindfulness isn't particularly strong, and my concentration isn't particularly strong. If I am in a situation like that again, where I can sort of, where I'm unexpectedly facing
your
death,
sound.
what would you advise that I do?
Well, use the mantra. Is one method is to use the mantra. Stop reacting to the pain, to the body. Leave the body alone. Or you can use wisdom and treat the body like the weather. You cannot stop it from doing what it is doing. Just let it be.
Okay. But if a person is facing death while they're facing that, because obviously we don't know when it's going to come. It could come tomorrow. It could come in 10 years. It could come in 6 months. What can a person do? What can a person practice?
If you don't want to have any stress,
that when they
just accept it. That's all. Accept that. Let it be. You know that the body is gonna die one day, sooner or later. So think of that as something normal, not something abnormal. It's natural. Death is natural.
I see.
Like the rain, like the wind, like the storm. It's natural.
But in terms of what that looks like in practice, would that look like just doing mindfulness of breathing, say, or mindfulness of Buddha? Is it just business as usual?
Well, see, if your mind cannot accept, then you have to use Buddha to stop your mind from not accepting.
Okay.
Sometimes your defilement doesn't want to accept that. So you need to use the mantra Buddha to stop your defilement. Your wisdom tells you to accept, but your defilement doesn't want to accept. So you can use the mantra to stop defilement, and then let the mind accept death. Or we can use wisdom, and if there's no defilement, then you don't need to use any mantra. If you can accept that, and let it be. But if wisdom tells you to accept it, but and you cannot accept it, then you have to use the mantra to stop the defilement from not accepting.
Yes, I think I'm at the point now where, just speaking truthfully, I don't think I'm ready yet. So
No.
I do think I would have to allow.
But that's what you have to do, practice a lot of mindfulness. Yeah.
Yes.
And contemplate a lot on anicca, impermanent. The body is impermanent, it's subjected to aging, sickness, and death. It's a natural process that no one can stop or prevent. So eventually you come to terms with the truth. Then you'll find yourself peaceful when these things happen.
Okay.
All
I have
right.
one final question, please.
Go ahead.
So I heard a story a little while ago by Thanissaro Bhikkhu, and he was talking about Ajahn Mun and Ajahn Sao, Ajahn Mun's teacher. And apparently Ajahn Mun, after he'd attained enlightenment, he looked into the mind of Ajahn Sao and saw that he hadn't attained enlightenment because he had made a resolution in a previous life to become a Pacceka Buddha. And that's why he hadn't become enlightened, and that, he needed to renounce that resolution in order to become an arahant. So that got me thinking, why would anyone want to become a Pacceka Buddha? I could understand why someone would want to become a Samma Sambuddha, because they get to teach many people and they get to positively influence the happiness and well-being of so many people. But it seems to me, given the amount of time and given the amount of effort and particularly the amount of pain involved to become a Pacceka Buddha, why not just become an arahant? Given that the only person you're going to benefit as a Pacceka Buddha is yourself, surely, because by definition, you're not teaching as a Pacceka Buddha. You're just sort of, becoming enlightened, and then you die, and then,
Yes.
So what Why would someone want to do that?
I think maybe it's a matter of pride. You want to become a Buddha yourself. You don't want to study from other people.
But surely a really
Some people
proud
are like
person.
that.
Yeah.
Some people are like that. They want to achieve on their own. They don't want to rely and depend on other people.
But if they were really proud, wouldn't they aim for Samma Sambuddhahood, which is the the
Because
top?
they don't like to teach. Maybe the character doesn't like to teach.
I see. I see. So
They
it's a
just
very
want to be alone
strange.
and well, this is how we are. See, different people have different character, different characteristics, different preferences. Your thinking is one way, his thinking is another way.
I see. I see.
So you have to accept his thinking. You don't expect him to think like you think, right, all the time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So let
Thank you,
him be. He wants to be a Pajeka Buddha, that's his business. Why have to get involved with
Yes.
that?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You should be more concerned about yourself, what you want to be.
Well, I would like to be an arahant.
Okay, then practice mindfulness and wisdom. Don't worry about other people.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. We'll go to Kun Jup now for more
กราบนมัส
questions.
การท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ We have 6 questions this evening, and the first question is from the assistant Gmail. It's from Sarasi. During our daily contemplation, apart from meditation, how can we best develop insight into the impermanence nature of the body when performing our daily actions?
When you contemplate on the impermanent nature of your body, you are actually doing the homework, preparing yourself for the real thing. So you have to have something happen to your body to really get the insight that the body is truly anicca or impermanent. Like you might lose a leg or get into an accident and something happened to your body and you become incapacitated, for instance. You can see the insight that, okay, the nature of the body is impermanent. It doesn't mean that you remain healthy and strong all the time. Other things can happen to your body. See? So you need something real to happen to your body to really have the insight, not just by merely thinking about it.
The next questions are from Facebook, and the first question is from Diane Sadi. When the monk goes into the forest, would the monk be fasting also, or still receiving dana, or could he eat some forest available foods?
Usually when a monk go into the forest, they find out they have to be near a village where they can go and collect alms, usually about 2 miles, 1 or 2 miles from the village, where it's quiet enough to be alone and nobody to disturb them, but close enough to walk and go collect food in the morning.
The next question is from Metta Vandana. Please clarify the relationship between the knowing element and the brain. If something happens to the brain, does the knowing element get impacted, like people with Alzheimer's can lose their ability to be mindful?
No, we discussed this last week. Mindfulness doesn't depend on the brain, or the mindfulness is in the mind. Sometimes you can have a healthy body and you can still be not mindful. You can still be forgetful. So whether you're forgetful or you're mindful, it's not in the brain, it's in the mind.
The next question is from Praveen from India. What happens when one enters the stream, and what does entering the stream means?
Means you have achieved the first level of enlightenment. You understand or you experience the Four Noble Truths in real time, in real life. You see suffering arising from your getting sick or die. And you can see the cause of this suffering has come from your craving for the body not to get old, get sick or die. But then you can stop this suffering because you have the wisdom the insight to see that this body It's a natural process, and no one can stop it from getting old, getting sick, or die. Once you see this as a natural process and you cannot stop it, then you can then stop your craving for the body not to get old, get sick, or die. And the suffering will disappear from your mind. You see this in real time when the body get old, get sick, or die. Then you enter the stream. The stream will lead you to Nibbana. And in order to reach Nibbana, you have to use the Four Noble Truths as the path, as the instrument to lead you to the Nibbana, to get rid of all your suffering.
The next question is from Minnie Pool. If I sponsor someone to enjoy sensual pleasure like movies and going to a concert, is that bad karma?
No, it's good karma. You're giving dana. When you take children to the zoo or to a movie, you're giving them happiness. There's nothing wrong with that.
And the last question is from Mandy Smith. Dear Ajahn, does it matter how long our walking path should be?
Normally, the walking path is usually about 25 steps for a normal distance. But some people might like to have it longer, maybe 4 steps. Some people might be forced to have it less because of the space that they can have walking. But usually 25 is the normal length of walking path. But you can vary from due to situation or due to your preference.
That is all. Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for your company. I hope this meeting is beneficial to you and can help or assist you to move forward in your meditation practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุจ้ะ
Thank you, Tanajan.
Thank you ท่านอาจารย์
Thank you, Alan. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.